It could be any day, anywhere. A hurricane is brewing. Like many problems, it knows no borders. But as the storm advances across the ocean, it is tracked by satellite. Ships are directed to the shelter of safe harbors. People are warned to evacuate. It's a coordinated response made possible by the international system that shapes our world, the United Nations and its family of agencies.
It isn't enough to talk about peace. One must believe in it. And it isn't enough to believe in it. One must work at it. By Eleanor Roosevelt. A very pleasant morning to everyone present here. My name is Prarthana, and today we, the students of Grade 6 Bluebells, are proud to present an assembly commemorating United Nations or UN Day celebrated on October 24th. United Nations Day is an annual commemorative day reflecting the official creation of the United Nations on 24th October 1945. In 1947, the United Nations General Assembly declared 24th October the anniversary of the Charter of the United Nations, as which shall be devoted to making known to the people of the world the aims and achievements of the United Nations and to gaining their support for its work. With the ratification of this founding document by the majority of its signatories, including the 5 permanent members of the Security Council, the United Nations officially came into being. United Nations Day is celebrated to recall the significance of the United Nations organization and its agenda of promoting human rights, diversity, and progress across the world. Each year, the global network of UN Information Centers organizes a variety of events to mark UN Day. But this year, due to COVID-19, it won't be possible. Before we get to know more about UN Day, let us all invoke the blessings from God Almighty. I request you all to join your hands and close your eyes and let us listen to the school prayer. We are what we think, and all that we are arises with our thoughts. So, today, for the thought of the day, I invite Bharat K. Aravind.
Thought for the day is: peace begins in your heart, grows in your mind, manifests through your will, and spreads through your actions. I repeat, peace begins in your heart, grows in your mind, manifests through your will, and spreads through your actions.
Thank you so much, Bharat, for that very inspirational and motivational thought. It's not enough to be up to date. You have to be up to tomorrow. To tell us more about what's happening, I invite Ashwant and Mita.
National News. Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi says notion that army, police meant for men no longer exists. Lords rise in number of women courts. The Prime Minister cited a Bureau of Police Research and Development figure to say that the number of women police personnel rose to over 2.15 lakh against 1.05 lakh in 2014. Chief of Defence Staff General Bipin Rawat warns of further curbs in Kashmir. COVID-19 vaccination. Gap between first and second doses starkest in India. India has delivered over 1 billion vaccine doses, making it the second highest dispenser of COVID-19 vaccines globally, but the gap between the proportion of population that has got at least 1 dose and 2 doses is widest in India. Supreme Court slams Uttarakhand government for filing frivolous appeal, warns of penal action.
International news. China passes new land border law amid military standoff with India. UN fears mass crime as troops assemble in Myanmar's north. Clashes at TLP's rally to Islamabad leave 7 dead. Riyadh targets zero emissions by 2060. United Nations Day is celebrated on October 25th. Sports news. Australia prevails in a low-scoring thriller. Qatar opens 5th World Cup stadium. T20 World Cup. India eyes 6th victory against arch rivals Pakistan. Messi agrees to 2-year deal with PSG.
Thank you, Ashwant and Mita, for telling more about what is happening in society. Every day must be the day to learn something new, and the more words you know, the more clearly and powerfully you will think, and the more ideas you will invite to your mind. So to expand our vocabulary, I invite Arinanda.
Today's word of the day is unity. Unity means the state of being united or joined as a whole. Example, now is the time for unity, for the international community to work in solidarity to stop the virus and its shattering consequences.
Thank you, Arya, for adding a new word to our vocabulary. At the start, I gave you all an introduction about UN Day. Now to hear more and to learn much more about this day, I invite Dia AS to give us a speech about World UN Day.
This is your word is the slogan of the global organization, the United Nations. October 24 is celebrated as the United Nations Day. This year, we are going to celebrate the 76th UN Day. The theme of the year 2021 is Recovering Better for an Equitable and Sustainable World. The United Nations, or the UN, is a diplomatic organization aiming to maintain international peace and security. It is the world's most largest and most familiar international organization. At its founding, the UN had 51 member states, and the membership now is 193, representing almost all of the world's sovereign states. The UN was established after the World War II. The UN maintains international peace and security, developing a friendly relation among the nations, social progress with better living standards and human rights. The UN helps and supports India achieve its aspirations by ending poverty and inequality to promote sustainable development. The United Nations and its former 7th Secretary General Kofi Annan was awarded the Nobel Peace Prize in 2001. The current Secretary General is Antonio Guterres, who is the 9th occupant of the post. He took office in January 1st, 2017. Every year, October 24th is celebrated as the United Nations Day all over the world to commemorate the anniversary of the official formation of the United Nations through the 1945 UN Charter. The United Nations Day may not be a public holiday, but people through all over the world come together and celebrate the day in different cities in different countries. Thank you.
Thank you so much, the IAS. That was very helpful and informative too. Dance is the joy of movement in the heart of life. So, to give you a little introduction about our dance, I invite Tia Vinayak.
It is not often that you see the United Nations go viral online. Now, the Korean pop boy band BTS made UN history. BTS performed and recorded a special version of their latest hit song, Permission to Dance, at the UN headquarters in New York. The K-pop band did not come to the UN just to offer the impressive audience a different version of one of their best songs. The members also gave a speech as special envoys of Korean President Moon Jae-in. The BTS gang addressed the current challenges the world faces. They talked about the impact of coronavirus pandemic and climate change, and millions of fans tuned in to listen. Prasna, Navneeta and Farha are here to entertain us with the same dance.
That was such a wonderful and mesmerizing performance. Now, let's watch a video on the services of UN.
The UN promotes maternal health.
The UN combats climate change.
The UN helps people in emergencies.
The UN works for peace.
The UN fights poverty.
The UN vaccinates children.
The UN feeds hungry populations.
The UN assists refugees.
The UN promotes human rights.
The UN promotes disarmament.
The UN works for primary education for all.
The UN works to prevent conflict.
Happy birthday, United Nations.
I hope you all enjoyed the video. The song brings the greatest joy to everyone's hearts. Now, to enlighten us with a beautiful song, I invite Abhirami AS.
Generations of actors has been inspired by John Lennon's Imagine, but the song took a whole new meaning when UNICEF, an agency of UN, decided to celebrate the 25th anniversary of the United Nations Convention to the Rights of the Child with this song. UNICEF joined forces with Yoko Ono and producer and DJ David Guetta to launch the Imagine project, the world's largest sing-along to bring awareness to UNICEF and its global mission of highlighting the tremendous challenges children face the world over. Thank you for listening. Let's get over to the song. Enjoy.
There's no heaven. It's easy if you try. Nowhere below us, above us, only sky. Imagine all the people live for today. Words may not come true. It isn't hard to do. Nothing to kill or die for.
Thank you so much, Abhirami, for that melodious song. Now, to present a short film about India's role in the United Nations Peacekeeping Force, I invite Jatishwaran.
Today, I present a short film on India's role in United Nations Peacekeeping Force.
The wound and scar left by World War II provoked the leaders of the world to think about an international organization. Thus came the United Nations, founded in 1945. Of the four main purposes of the United Nations, the first and foremost is to maintain peace throughout the world. The largest contributor to to United Nations Peacekeeping Force is none other than our own country, India. About 200,000 Indians have served over till now in 49 of the 71 United Nations Peacekeeping Force deployed so far. Their services range from disaster relief, free medical care, veterinary expertise, and so on. India made history by deploying first ever all-female formed police unit to the United Nations mission in Liberia in 2007. More than 160 Indians lost their lives during their duty in United Nations Peacekeeping Force. Recently, Indian Peacekeeping Force in Sudan were awarded with UN medals for their outstanding performance. India's participation in the United Nations Peacekeeping Force results in a growing contribution whose professionalism and expertise contributes to the United Nations peacekeeping doctrine. Thank you.
Thank you, Chitti. Everyone in the world is interconnected and a part of God's big family. Hence, the need for each of us to love each other regardless of our backgrounds is necessary. I now request Rishi to play the famous song Heal the World by Michael Jackson. Thank you, Rishi. Loyalty is the pledge of truth to oneself and to others. To lead us with the pledge, I now invite Michelle Rachel Burgess.
India is my country. All Indians are my brothers and sisters. I love my country and I am proud of its rich and varied heritage. I shall always strive to be worthy of it. I shall give my parents, teachers, and all elders respect and treat everyone with courtesy. To my country and my people I pledge my devotion. In their well-being and prosperity alone lies my happiness. Jai Hind.
Thank you, Michelle.